reviewing a movie that I personally think that it's I mean, I don't want to say good, but good to me, because it's relative. So this channel, I guess, is something that I want to make it so that I'm basically just talking about movies that I personally like and would recommend to people that maybe have a similar taste of movies, or just, want to try something new. And yeah, so today I will be talking about the 2018 movie titled Suspiria, and this is like a remake of the original one that came out in 1977 by director Dario, and the 2018 one was directed by Luca Guadagnino or something. He's Italian. Yeah. So the main protagonist, I would say, is Dakota Johnson, and she plays the role of Susan. So kind of like, I guess, a quick overview of the movie is that is this Susan, she's from a like a small town somewhere in the somewhere in the like the middle of America. Like, I don't know, somewhere in Dakota or Wyoming, somewhere like that, some rural farm town. And so she I guess another thing to say is that this is set around, I would say, the 1940s, close to 1950s, and she goes to Germany, and there's this dance school, but it's kind of like a boarding school where like it's an all-female school, and they live there and they're being taught, contemporary dance, maybe other dances, but that's like the one that you see a lot is contemporary dance. And then she goes there and she's like very quiet, and she gets partner like with this other dancer, just to kind of get her acquainted, and she kind of takes that role, makes the viewer perceive her as kind of the victim in what's to come. So the thing with this, kind of what gives this movie the mystery of it is that this dance school is run by this covenant of witches, and the leader of the covenant is Mother Marcos, and the main dance instructor is called Madame Blanc. And the way that this is set up is kind of like the dance school is kind of a front, or to disguise what they're doing, which is using dance. But it's not just a front where it can be anything, but it's specifically dance, because the way that they dance, the choreography, everything is particular, because that's the way that they can sort of make some sort of spell or sorcery in order to then give energy to Mother Marcos. So it's like kind of like the idea of like kind of like vampires, where they need, fresh blood or to stay alive, young, and be immortal. So it's kind of, it's that idea, but having to do with dancing, and so this goes on, and towards the end of the movie, you kind of see how Susan wasn't really a victim at all, but like she was born to be the next leader. So she kind of, at the end, there's a scene where how I perceive it is like she conjures up death and goes around the room. There's like this big room, it's all red, and she goes around killing those that were for keeping Mother Marcos as the leader. And so then she takes on the new leadership role and becomes the matriarch of the Covenant. And that scene is really is interesting, and I like it, but it's like, yeah, it's a lot, and so, yeah, towards the end, that's what you see, is that she was never really a victim, but that she was born to be that next leader. And Madame Blanc, at the end, she like interrupts the process because she feels like something's gonna go not as planned, because they were planning to make this ceremonies and all this so that Mother Marcos was gonna be kind of given more energy to, and continue her leadership role. And but then, and Susan was gonna be a part of that ritual, but things kind of turn, and now Susan is actually gonna take the role of, or she does take the role of Mother Marcos, and that's what Madame Blanc kind of was suspicious about. And so that's kind of the main thing. And one of the things that I liked about this movie was that throughout the whole movie, it keeps you engaged. There's a lot of mystery and kind of slowly taking you through things and making you think, and not just kind of gives you everything and like tells you how to feel and shows everything, and like it's doing the job of what I think any good movie, again, good to me, does, is that it makes you think and doesn't just present you with all the emotions and feelings in a plate that you're supposed to feel. But yeah, so this movie does that, and I like how from the original, I feel like the original, it just kind of, it doesn't make dancing essential to what the theme of the covenant and all that is. It could have been a boarding school of I don't know, playing volleyball, or it could have been just a regular boarding school, you know, and use that as a disguise for what they were doing. And you know, but with the 2018 remake, it gave you an explanation and a reason why, specifically why dancing was essential and why it was specifically dancing and not anything else, because they say how you can see by the way that the main instructor, Madame Blanc, how she prepares Susan so that the way that she executes a certain technique, she needs to feel a certain way so that she executes. For example, she has to do like these jumps, and so she needs to be in that energy and that feeling to execute that jump. And so that kind of explains why all the choreography, each dance step, each, you know, technique, each part of the choreography is it's like a language to casting this spell. So the jump, you need to have this feeling of excitement, as an example. And then when you do the twirling, I don't know what it's called, the spinning, you need to have a feeling of sadness, or I don't know what, but like, so that everything is kind of like building on top of each other. And so you need to feel this, and this, and so at the end you cast the spell. So I liked how they did that. They did a very good job explaining it, and I think that's one of the first movies that a remake that I've seen. I don't know, it did what, to me, a remake should do, and not just change the characters or, you know, the dialogue here and there, but it added to the original. It gave more detail, and yeah, I really like that about it. And yeah, I've watched this movie already 3 times, and I really enjoyed it, and I would highly recommend it. There's nudity, there's a little bit of horror, I guess, at the end, and then some parts are gruesome, but I enjoy that because it's just, and it's very raw, and you know, like it shows you everything, and in terms of, you know, it adds to the story to me. There's another thing that I wanted to say. Oh, that so throughout all this going on, that is set. It's set during a war that's going on. So having that just juxtaposition of this topic of witches, which is usually something that's sort of like fantasy and mythical, but it's set with against the backdrop of a war going on. It grounds it, and so it makes it more believable, the world that they create. And yeah, so I highly recommend it, and I will continue to make more of these reviews and just share some of the movies that I really enjoy and that are interesting and unique to me. And yeah, it's about 2.5 hours long, so but I enjoyed every part of it. It was every moment, everything was utilized. All the time was utilized in a good way, like it wasn't wasted. And yeah, so thank you for watching, and I hope to see you all again.